Hey guys, how you doing? It's Ryan Fox, and today we are going to be talking about my vision. So when I say we're going to talk about my vision, I have been going through my channels and actually haven't really discussed how I lost my vision in the first place. So I kind of want to talk about that today. I've actually been talking to some of my subscribers and friends, and they were, asking, how did you lose your vision? How long has it been? And what are the pros and the cons of being blind? And kind of wanted to really go about that. Also, one of the inspirations about this is one of my newest subscribers. His channel is Blind to Billionaire, and the guy that has the channel, his name is Matt, and he is blind, but is also done with his wife Corey, and Corey has vision, and Corey does not, and they talk about the pros and the cons of what it's like to be a married couple when one of them is blind, and also Matt talks about like I was saying, the pros and cons of what it's like to be blind in general. So if you guys could please check out his channel. It's very insightful. It really is. And I've actually gotten a chance to talk with Matt and Corey through YouTube and also on Facebook, and that's actually really cool. And I hope to talk to them a little bit more. So, hey Matt, hey Corey, how you doing? And now the big question: how did I lose my vision? It all started when I was about 9 years old. It was 1995, and I was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor called medulloblastoma, which surprisingly is actually very common around children at the age of 9. And mine, unfortunately, was positioned right on my brainstem and was about the size of a grapefruit. So, really good place for it to be. Said with a lot of sarcasm. And because of the size of it, it was obviously putting pressure on my brain, but it was also causing fluid to build up. And that fluid buildup was actually putting pressure on my optic nerves. So, when they removed the tumor, the damage was already done on putting pressure on my brain and my optic nerves. Funny enough, if you look at my optic nerves through an MRI scan, you can see that there literally is no blood flow through my optic nerves, and you need to have blood flow in your optic nerves in order for your eyes to work. So technically my eyes should not be working, but I have some sight. The reason for that is because my eyes are actually using cones and rods that the average human does not use. And I don't know if you guys have... Sorry, I had the hiccups. I don't know if you guys have actually been able to tell during my videos, but when I'm looking at the camera, my eyes are looking up. To me, I'm actually looking at you because the cones and rods that I'm using are actually at the very bottom of the iris. The very bottom. So to me, I'm actually looking directly at you, whereas you guys are looking at me, see that I'm looking above you. So it's not that I'm not looking at you, it's just my eyes don't work that way. So, that wasn't just it. I also have my medical background that has also damaged my eyesight as well as other parts of me as well. Because of the medical background as well as the tumor itself, first off, the loss of vision, but because of the medical background with chemotherapy and radiation, I've actually lost fields of vision. So I actually have very little peripheral, Usually with your peripheral, your normal peripheral, you should be able to just look straight ahead and still be able to see your elbows. I'm looking straight ahead, and I can just see my finger there, and looking straight ahead, my finger's right there. But I cannot see up and down whatsoever. Just with my eyes. There's just a black line that I can just see. I'm also incredibly nearsighted. So for me to see something in detail, I actually got this magazine here, and literally have to be like this close in order to see it. It's one of those things. Even watching TV, I have to stand right in front of the screen. But I do have a new device. It's called Iris Vision, and actually I'm gonna do a video on that on my next video, talking about the device, what it does, and all that kind of stuff, and I kind of also give a tutorial, because mine is the latest version of the Iris Vision, so I'll do that for our next video. So yes, I've lost the field of visions, and also my depth perception is almost not there. Again, incredibly nearsighted, almost no peripheral, and all that kind of stuff. So, you would think, wow, that's gotta be bad. No. Well, yes, it does have its down moments, but I've been dealing with this for 24 years. I am 24 years cancer-free. And even saying that, I still can't believe that I'm 24 years cancer-free, which is awesome. But being blind the same amount of time, and just living with it, you just get used to it. And of course, I actually, I do know how to use a blind cane. I actually started learning the blind cane when I was in the 5th grade, and it was good. I mean, that's definitely a recommendation for me, is if you are blind, the first thing you want to do is learn how to use the cane. Because you're probably thinking, oh, well, I can just get a guide dog. Well, even guide dog school require you to bring a cane with you, and for you to know how to use the cane. You can't just buy a cane off of Amazon and just use it incorrectly on campus. Trust me, they will catch on. And their job is not to teach you how to use the cane. Their job is to teach you how to use a guide dog. So definitely go to your nearest foundation for the blind, or whatever it is in your area, and get mobility training with a cane. That is the first thing that you want to do, and use that for a number of years until you feel that you really want to switch to a guide dog. But even if you have a guide dog, you still need to have your cane skills up to date, because even with a guide dog, it's still a dog. There are days that the dog could be sick, or there could be days where the dog's just like, I just don't want to work today. So it is always good to use a cane. And I use my cane, basically, like I said, I started when I was in the 5th grade. I used it way past my graduation from high school. I did a little college in theater and writing, and then it was back in 2017 I received my guide dog. I actually applied for him in 2015. And basically waited a year and a half to hear that I was receiving a guide dog, and it was January of 2017 through February 25th that I was training with my guide dog. I actually graduated with him in February 2018, 2 days before my birthday, so I literally got my guide dog for my birthday. So there's that. But some of you are probably thinking, well, if you have vision, why are you using a guide dog? Well, I actually have been known to trip up and down stairs, and just running into obstacles, and that's mostly because of my depth perception, and also because of just the fact that like if you see those disabled signs in the parking lot, looking at them from this point of view is okay, but when you look at it from this point of view with my kind of vision, this is almost impossible to see, and sometimes your cane can miss the pole and you will just right in the middle of the face. And I actually, while I was in high school, have actually gone home with a line going down the middle of my face, and just a red line, and it was kind of obvious what happened. So I mean, I stuck with my cane, but then I'm just like, you know what, I really want to look into getting a guide dog, because way after I graduated high school, this was a couple of years ago, I decided to go to the Foundation for the Blind Children and take the adult program. And the adult program basically, through vocational rehabilitation, can see what technology works best for you, to recommend technology, as well as things that can help you in the kitchen. There's home economic, there's working with technology, as well as working on the computer and checking out your skills, and reading Braille and everything. And of course, I already knew how to read Braille, but I just wanted to refresh my memory on Braille, so we did all that and graduated the program. But while I was there, two of our instructors, one of them, her name is Julie Rock, she was head of technology, and Cynthia Wood, who was head of Braille, and they both had guide dogs, and their vision was different. One of them, Cynthia, has some vision, but like incredibly blurry, and I think is only out of the side of her eye, and she has a guide dog, whereas Julie Rock, her vision is a little bit better, but still not good, and she had a guide dog, and I just saw how much the dog helps and changes their lives and everything, and that really convinced me to get a guide dog. So I actually applied while I was in school, and after I graduated, back in 2016, I think it was September 2016, I heard that I got the guide dog, and then of course January, it was, I believe it was January 30th. No, it wasn't January 30th. January 25th. 2017, went to Guide Dogs of the Desert. First couple of days is just, working with the harness and just knowing what the commands are. And then it was February 4th, I received Sinbad. There is a video on my channel of me meeting Sinbad for the first time. So, just check that out if you can. It's called Dog Day. Guide Dogs of the Desert, Day 4, I believe the video is called. So, Guide Dogs of the Desert, Day 4. And is the day I actually met Sinbad for the first time at this school. So, being blind, people think that that's the worst thing in the world, but it is at first. But over the years, you just tend to just get used to it and accept that this is just your life right now, but you need to find your ways around it. You need to find the loopholes in life for you to succeed. And for me, while I was in the hospital with dealing with my cancer, my mom actually got me a magic kit to help with my motor skills. And I fell in love with magic. And I did magic all the way through elementary and junior high. There were times I did fall out of it, and there were times that I did come back into it. But it was when I was in high school. We had talent nights, and with these talent nights, I actually showed, I'm blind, but I don't care. I want to do something that I love, and had a real natural talent for it, and really amazed people during these talent shows and everything. Unfortunately, I don't have videos for them because I didn't have a camera back then. But I've been doing magic as a blind person for 24 years, basically from the moment I had cancer. And have been performing it professionally. I actually have it as a business now. I've been performing it professionally for 14 years now. And in one of my previous videos, I got the music for my magic show professionally done. And within we actually made new soundtracks. It's like background music for when I'm talking to the audience or when I'm picking someone from the audience to help out. And I mean, with it, even though I'm blind, I kind of like see myself as an ambassador for not just the blind community, but for the disabled community. And I'm basically saying, yes, we have disabilities. Yes, it can be hard, but if there is something that you love to do, all you have to do is you need to find a loophole to make it easier for you, and you just need to work at it to the point that you can do it. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do something because you're blind, or because you're deaf, or because you're in a wheelchair, or whatever your disability is. You can do it as long as you put your mind to it and you work hard. Yes, we have to work harder to achieve something, but it doesn't mean that it's not doable. Of course it's doable, but we just need to work harder at it. And I mean, that's one of the biggest benefits of being blind for me, is trying to really motivate people to think differently about their disability. Because being disabled, yes, it can be very depressing sometimes, but I try not to see my life as a disabled blind person to be a negative. Not saying that there aren't moments in my life that can be hard and really disappointing and everything, but most of my life has been positive. Sorry, my camera actually cut out, so most of my life has been positive. But yeah, I mean, from having cancer, losing my vision, and to be where I am at right now, I've had people ask me, do I regret what has happened to me? I would probably say 90% is no, and maybe 10% is yes. Because there are things I would like to do in my life that you do need vision to do. But I've already done so much in my life being a blind person, and like I said, 90%, no, I do not regret becoming blind. I mean, even with getting my guide dog, he's brought so much independence to my life. I've actually been able to travel a lot more. I've actually flown with him. I actually, after getting him from Guide Dogs of the Desert, we actually flew home together, because Guide Dogs of the Desert is in Whitewater, California, which is just outside of Palm Springs. And I actually drove up there with a friend. I had a friend that was nice enough to drive me there. But I decided to fly home to really start our bigger level of independence. And I got to tell you, flying by yourself with a guide dog who's going to make sure that you are safe. That feeling of independence is just like, wow. And I've actually had a previous girlfriend who lived in Las Vegas, and I actually took the time to go visit her twice, and flew there and back. And it's also nice to actually learn how to fly by yourself, and learning how to buy the tickets and how to organize someone to help you from where you check your bags, and to help you get through security, and also to get to the gate and everything. Yes, I still need help in that way, but my guide dog is actually trained to follow people. So if I point at someone and say follow, and they start walking, he's gonna follow that person. So that's nice, I don't have to use a sighted guide by holding their elbow, or someone pushing me in a wheelchair. It's a lot faster and easier for me to just walk. And I mean, also the fact that I'm a blind magician, I mean, that's gotta be an accomplishment in itself right there. I actually just learning the art of magic and also perfecting it to the point where, I don't perform magic with sights. Most of the stuff that I do, I just know from just feeling it, and know what to do with my hands and everything, instead of looking at what I'm doing. The only tricks that require vision are card tricks, and for me, I do not do many card tricks. I do not. I prefer illusions, because yes, illusions are designed to fool the eye. They say the hand is quicker than the eye. Well, in my case, my hands are quicker than the eye, because my eyes can't follow my hands. But I've had people come up to me and say, how amazing is it that, you can't see, but still you're fooling my eyes. And, that's like one of the biggest compliments I've actually, gotten. But yeah. So, that's pretty much, how I lost my vision to what my life is like right now. I actually have a magic show coming up. I'm actually planning to have the whole show filmed. I'm using my new soundtrack and everything with the show. So, I definitely am going to try and get that filmed and put on YouTube and everything. But that is basically it, from the moment I lost my vision to now. So if you guys have any questions, please put that in the comments section down below. If you have any suggestions for upcoming videos, again, leave that down there. If you like the video, hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit the bell icon, because that gives you notifications for every time I upload a video. And I hope you guys are doing good, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.